When recreating who we are in this world by establishing our morals, our values within, our outer world or environment outside of us will begin to change, but it does not change immediately. And since we don't see the change in our outer worlds immediately, we tend to fall into old patterns and habits because of life responsibilities that we feel we need in order to survive in our current environment. As humans, we do need certain things to survive. We need food, water, and air, and to be comfortable, at least a roof over our head. But nowadays, especially in America, our air is polluted and toxic. Our food is sprayed with pesticides and causes illness to the body, and our water is contaminated. This already poses a threat to our humanity, which makes us feel as if we are not secure or safe since our basic needs are barely being met. We begin to feel stress or have anxiety, which can cause an imbalance within us because we are busy trying to survive in a world man has made toxic. In this session, I want you to begin reflecting on the things that have been taking away your time and energy and has caused blockages for you to be the person you desire to be. Establishing a sense of security, safety, and stability in your life can impact your overall well-being. But traumatic experiences such as abuse, neglect, or significant life changes can disrupt these feelings of security and impact the overall development of who you are meant to become. We began to be taken out of our humanitarian mode and placed into a survival one. We begin losing a sense of ourselves because we are now focused on trying to survive and maintain. Most of us began working dead-end jobs that do not pay enough to survive, but takes so much of our time and energy. That exchange is unfair to ourselves, but we do this because we need essential things to survive. We begin to feel like we are lacking the time and focus to tend to ourselves and our needs. We actually began to lose a sense of awareness of what our needs and desires really are. And that is how we become lost in who we truly are and our ethical individuality. If our foundation is not properly set, it will begin to crumble and be compromised. That's why we started out this course creating morals and values for ourselves to set that foundation. Because again, if it's not set, we have instances where people are hurt, traumatized, or victimized in some type of way. For example, in order to eat, some people opt to rob or steal from others because the foundation within them was not solid, because they were focused on meeting a basic need for themselves. Everyone has their reasonings for doing certain things, but when you have a solid foundation within yourself based off morals and values, there are just certain things that you will not do because it's not a part of your ethical individuality. In today's society, people are expected to work long hours and not utilize their vacation or sick days. That's where we begin to see most people working dead-end jobs for years on an end because they are merely just trying to survive. This, in all actuality, begins to cause hurt to themselves because their happiness, their freedom, their creativity has been taken away from them. We get caught up in the same daily routines where it becomes a cycle that appears hard to get out of. But understand that it will take some time, but know that you are able and capable of meeting not only your basic needs, but the desired lifestyle you want by reinvesting more of your time and energy into yourself so that you become more balanced. As humans, we have specific areas in our life that require our attention. in order for us to feel balanced and aligned. These areas are our emotional life, our environmental life, our financial needs, intellectual needs, occupational life, our physical needs, social needs, and our spiritual life. There are certain activities that we can do that each area is tended to so it won't be neglected. Giving more time to one area while neglecting another can cause you to feel imbalanced or like you are missing something. When we take back our time and energy and invest it back into ourselves, we are doing ourselves a service because we begin to take care of our basic needs. We are making the conscious decision every day to engage in activities that stimulate us in every area of our lives. This helps us to become the person we desire to be. Although time is an illusion, being in the present moment is not. What you do with your time or energy in the now affects the outcome of your future moments. Again, it is so easy for us to give our time and energy away to these dead-end jobs while making excuses when it comes time to give to ourselves the necessary energy that we need. We have to look at time as currency, and what you invested in will determine your future. If you keep investing your time into a job that you work that barely pays the bill, you are investing into a future of constant struggle, dissatisfaction, and unhappiness. But when you invest your time into yourself to ensure that your needs are being tended to, you are investing in a future of peace, love, joy, and abundance. Most people look at money as valuable, but in all actuality, it is your time. It is how you spend your time to obtain that money. This could have something to do with beliefs and ideas that was passed on from one generation to another, and we will get more into that at a later time. But the main point now is to reinvest your time. Reinvest your time into the necessary areas of yourself where you will have a positive return. So when we're dealing with the area of our emotions, we are engaging or doing activities that produce positive emotions. This could be hugging your child, petting a pet animal, listening to uplifting music, or hanging around your loved ones. Whatever you choose to do, allow it to bring emotional fulfillment. When we are discussing the area of your environment, your environment has a huge effect on your mentality and your perspective on life. So having a clean environment or space will help create a space for a clean mind. So making more time to be in nature, going to museums, or even traveling to different places help expand your perspective when changing your environment. Sometimes it is hard to grow in the same environment that has hurt you. So try to step out of that environment if you can. And if you are unable to do so, create a safe space in your current environment. This could be hiding away in your closet or bathroom, or even taking a walk. But just ensure the space is clean and safe. Now, when we give attention and focus to the area of our finances, we have to become financially aware of where we are. And we have to make efforts to achieve financial goals. It is always great to save money if you can and be intentional and responsible with how you deal with your finances. Life becomes a little easier to deal with when you have a savings for an unexpected thing that comes up, or for a rainy day, as they would say. I know if you are living paycheck to paycheck, it can feel as if there is nothing left to save. And at times we have to make sacrifices. Eating out a few nights or buying something new is things that we can kind of eliminate until we are able to be in a safe space to splurge. You can even start couponing to be able to save a little more on the things you need. But saving money now could mean sacrificing other things for some people. But I guarantee you, you would thank yourself if you did, because you will now have some money you can always fall back on through the unexpected times. So this also leads into the area of your occupational life. However you decide to get your money, make sure that it's one that is fulfilling. And if you have to work a dead end job at this current time, at least ensure that they are paying you for your work and the job does not leave your energy depleted. If you are feeling drained after any job, and not just tired, but as if you have absolutely no energy for anything else, then you should reconsider your occupation. It would be best if you keep your resume updated and learn a skill that you can make money off of. And then with the area of our intellect, our mind is such a powerful tool that most of us neglect. We are so easily distracted by mindless activities like scrolling on social media for hours, watching meaningless television, or believing what others say without doing the research. We can begin feeding our minds by reading, watching documentaries, and taking some time away from social media, which would allow us to become more knowledgeable and our minds to continue to grow. We have a lack of attention to the area of our physical health. This is the easiest way that we become stuck and sick. We have to begin eating well, exercising, and stretching to help the area of our physical life. Most people like convenience, so we eat out way too much, or we eat a lot of processed foods. If we are able to be mindful of what we put in our bodies, it will affect our energy levels and how productive we will be. When you take care of your physical life, you'll be able to have the energy and time to focus on other areas of your life. So then we focus on the area of our social life. As humans, it is not our nature to be alone. That's why it's important that we make time for a social life. It's okay to be alone, to get our thoughts together and recharge. But as humans, we need each other. You can increase your social life by simply calling and checking up on a friend or family member. You can take yourself out on a date or going out with your friends. But engaging with others, especially others on your frequency level, is freeing and it's like a getaway from life's responsibilities. The last area that we have to make time for is our spiritual life. I did not say religious, but spiritual. We have to start doing or engaging in something that feeds our soul. This could be going to church, reading spiritual or religious texts, or making time every day to pray and talk to God. These are the areas in our life that we need to make sure that we are feeding and investing our time into so that we become balanced and whole. It is so easy for us to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life that we begin to neglect these areas. So some reflective questions to consider are there any areas in your life that you feel you are currently neglecting? What are they? In the areas that you are currently neglecting, I want you to make a list of things you can do every day or a few times a week that will increase the productivity in this area so that you may become more balanced and aligned in your life.